universal laws, law of God, inner conflict. A Course in Miracles really helps us to be certain in life for confidence building, I believe. When you can reach your memory of who you truly are, your troubles with confidence building end. Your depths at the core, beyond inner conflict, teach you how valuable you are to the world, and that feeling itself makes you feel great about yourself and is the alignment that you need to have with the universal laws of life. Hello, everyone. My name is James Nussbaumer, and I'm the author of a series of books that begin with this one, The Master of Everything. It's a story of mankind and the world of illusion we call life. It's based on the principles of A Course in Miracles. It's published by Ozark Mountain Publishing Company. And those who dive into this book will learn the real meanings of confidence building and universal laws of life. Laws cannot be helpful unless they are really communicated and therefore understood. Think about it. Laws must be translated for those who speak different languages. A good translator must alter the form of what he translates while being careful not to change the meaning. The whole purpose is to change the form so that the original meaning is retained. I mean that being certain in what you want is confidence building if you can see that the Holy Spirit within you, the inner divine guide that is in each of us, because we're all whole, not separate as we may think. The Holy Spirit is our translator of the universal laws of life, or we may say the law of God, for those who don't really understand them. You know, A Course in Miracles, if you'll consider this, A Course in Miracles states, when you ask the universal giver for what you do not want, you're asking for what you cannot be given because it was never created. Translating meaning. Due to the inner conflict in our minds that keeps us from confidence building, we just can't be who we are or attain what we truly want in life while being faithful to inner conflict. We would end up changing the meaning of the universal laws of life to preserve the form based on what we're taught to believe. Now, this is not a video blog on, rah, 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 go get 'em, self-confidence type of building, where we got cheerleaders behind us saying, you can do it, you can do it. But more or less, this is confidence building from within, where your inner guide can help you along. Keep in mind that the Holy Spirit's purpose in translating exactly the opposite to that of this world. That is his job. He wants to translate meaning where, unlike what well-meaning but well-intended people in your life may try to push on you, he translates only to preserve the original meaning in all respects and all projections of understanding in any language, domestic, foreign, or even in the slang that we often use. You know, regardless of the words that you use, whether it's the lowest slang possible or the funniest slang, whether it's being translated from within you to the meaning that you want, you know within what it means. And what I'm trying to say and add is the Holy Spirit opposes the idea that differences in form are meaningful, emphasizing always that these differences just don't matter. The universal laws of life just do not involve teaching us the truth, but does teach us confidence building so that we can operate by the truth. Creation is truth, and it is what we are. Yes, we are the creation. You are what you are, and learning this is not necessary to know this fact. You don't have to learn who you are. You already know who you are, and being certain of that is confidence building. However, when humanity separated its thought from God, or seemingly separated its thought from God, and developed its own thought system, there was no choice but to become a learner as a necessity for survival. This necessity survives today and has for generations. Could this be why we are considered to be creatures of habit? Why is it that we never question the connection between learning something new and memory? How can we learn without a memory? This is why the Holy Spirit teaches confidence building in his lessons for remembering and in forgetting. But the forgetting part of his lessons is only to make the remembering consistent. And here's what I mean. Why do you suppose you can't remember God? Let's say as in before you were born. Well, the answer is because you are not able to forget the ego mind in you. You're not able to forget the ego who's blocking your real self in order that you can truly remember who you are. Yes, confidence building is detaching yourself from the ego mind and operating from who you truly are within. A Course in Miracles further states, you do not recognize the enormous waste of energy you expend in denying truth. We can't possibly understand the Holy Spirit's translations while we're involved in the conflict of two different ways of interpreting them. Our ego-based thought system by which we live by surely conflicts with real, unseparated thought, which is the unseparated thought is the thought system of certainty and confidence building that the Holy Spirit uses within you. The Holy Spirit within you is you. The Holy Spirit is your inner divine essence to the core of who you are. Therefore, we must understand one of these thought systems in order to understand the other. But this is truly the only way that we can learn to be consistent in truth. And what I mean is so that we can once and for all be certain about ourselves and continue with confidence building. What we appreciate extends value. And confidence building takes no effort. It's just a matter of aligning yourself with the universal laws of life. If you are operating from the thought system that confuses you and keeps you indecisive all the time, how can confidence ever be built? And what then can the perfect consistency of heaven mean for you? If we maintain the ego, and the ego is the way we want to live by, that ever fearful and doubting aspect in us all, who often is judgmental, that is the ego in us. If we maintain the ego as our direction in life, we experience confusion and have zero confidence in how we may interpret things, interpret certain things, because we try to dissect them and analyze them rather than appreciate them. What appreciate builds, doesn't it? There you go, in confidence building. Whenever you operate from being certain, you are appreciating yourself. Whenever you operate from being certain, certainty has no confusion because there's only one certain meaning about you. One thing for certain is that your body cannot extend itself, but it can project an image of itself. A thought, however, if it is real, which means external and not of time, infinitely extends and rests on its idea. It's the idea of creation, which is whole and never separated. That is, it is of your real life, is what the idea of creation is. It's the idea of your real life. Here's to the real confidence in your life. And if this video blog, actually what I've done is I've prepared this message on a blog at my website. And the link to that blog is in the description box down below. So if you'd like to put this video in and read, a lot of times when we read something, it sinks in a little bit better. Click on the link and it will take you directly to this blog article. And if you've enjoyed this thought-provoking video message, once again, please click on the subscribe button here at YouTube. And if you would like to subscribe to my Everyday Miracles Mastermind newsletter, the link is in the description box down below. As I said, there's a link at my blog that this link will take you to, so you won't have any problem finding at my website how to subscribe to the Everyday Miracles Mastermind. And in this Mastermind newsletter is where you, the reader, and I, the author, we bring our mind together for self-success and building confidence and for a better world. So now I hope that you decide to live in this world by confidence building where you're trusting the translator of universal laws of life. And I hope, as always I like to say, that you're really focusing on your own inner gifts, your own inner bliss and your own inner harmony that the world would love you to extend. You can do this by just being yourself and aligning yourself with the universal laws of life. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for listening to me, and God bless.